During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk about how to spray 2,4-D safely around the farmyard.
Yeah, this would have been really helpful for you, Brian, back, I don't know, about 40 years ago when you started spraying 2,4-D.
Yep, I killed my mom's flowers, killed her garden, dropped leaves off trees. I killed all kinds of stuff. Now, that wasn't necessarily 100% my fault.
See, here we go. This is exactly what he told Dad, too, at that time, that, hey, it's not my fault. But you know what? Honestly, 2,4-D does move around a little bit, and that's why we're talking about it today.
And honestly, whoever sprays it, it is your fault if it ends up on a non-target plant. So the thing that you have to understand about 2,4-D is this. It has volatility. And what that means is it can land somewhere, right where you wanted it to land, but then it can actually pick up and move after that point. Now, that picking up and moving usually happens within the first 24 hours. It's possible it could happen within 72 hours, but generally speaking, it's within the first 24 hours. And what we're after with 2,4-D is it's either got to get absorbed and fully absorbed into the plant, or it has to get rained into the ground. One or the other, and then there's no more volatility risk.
Well, the other thing is when you have a windy day like today, you've got to be smart about things. If it's windy enough that you're wondering, is it windy enough I should quit spraying? The answer is yes. You shouldn't be spraying at all if you're worried about, hey, it might be too windy today. But if you say, there's just this tiny little 3-mile-an-hour breeze, then you want to pay attention which direction it's coming out of. Let's say, for example, that it's coming out of the north, and you're spraying further south than everything else around your yard that's susceptible to 2,4-D. Go ahead and spray because the wind is pushing it away from anything that's susceptible.
But as Darren says that, here's the problem with this volatility thing that we talk about. Let's say you're spraying in the evening because the wind's died down. If you spray in the evening, just understand that your product is not going to be rain fast for at least 12 hours and probably 18 hours. Here's why. When you have evening sprays, then humidity is generally speaking coming up. Sometimes there's even dew starting to form on the plants at that point. Well, when you get done spraying, there's usually a lot of dew on the plants, okay? When the humidity is high and there's dew on the plants, you're not going to get real great absorption of that herbicide. So it's going to remain sitting on the leaf. So here's what you have to be thinking about. What happens if tomorrow the wind switches, changes direction, and it's coming out of the south? You get a little volatility. Well, now you can actually have an issue. So when you're spraying 2,4-D, or at least the old 2,4-D, we would just encourage you to take a look at what is the wind direction for the next 48 hours after you spray. As long as it's away from sensitive plants, generally speaking, you're in pretty good shape.
Now here's the other thing. Brian mentions the old 2,4-D. Now we're talking about amines and esters. There is a new formulation of 2,4-D called 2,4-D choline in a product like Freelex that has taken away a lot of that volatility. Now I'm not going to say zero volatility, but I'm going to say it's tremendously different. You won't even know that it's a 2,4-D with the way this one stays put.
With old 2,4-D, what we've always told people is spray really early in the spring, spray late in the fall, when you don't have flowers blooming, leaves on trees, other sensitive plants that might be around the farmyard. Okay, with the new 2,4-D choline or Freelex, we would tell you, you know what? I don't have a real big issue as long as you're using Freelex in the summertime and you're at least a little bit careful with it. I think you should be in pretty good shape. So one last thing that I wanted to mention here, we're talking about safety to plants today. I also want to bring up safety to humans. Just understand 2,4-D choline is not that dangerous a product or anything, but nevertheless, we always encourage you, wear your personal protective equipment.
Spraying 2,4-D around the yard is really important, especially if you have a weed like our Weed of the Week. Can you identify this week's weed?